Okay, I was not expecting this. Pity transfer is officially coming to Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. It's absolutely insane. I was in bed, I was watching Certain Magical Index, just started, banger of a show. And I'm like, okay, I see a notification. I'm like, what's this? JJK. Oh, this might be one of those random ass. Oh, it's not random. Oh, it's not random. So the update that everyone wanted is finally here, and it is here much earlier. So in this video, what we're gonna do is talk about it. Talk about what. Well, we know when it's coming. Pity transfer is coming March 14th. We're gonna talk about how it works and why it is a global W. Okay, I acknowledge global L's. I acknowledge global W's. I want to make sure that's very clear that whenever global does something good, we have to acknowledge it, but vice versa. It's very important. So, pity transfer might, but also might not. It's possible. We'll have to see. Come out with standard banner update. Now, why I say that is because the original standard banner update, we still do not have the Shoko recollection bit on global. Okay, we still don't, unless no, we don't, right? So why is that important? Because that's all we're missing from the pity transfer, standard banner update, right? And it's a possibility that either like next week, we're gonna get Shoko's rec, and then they're just gonna be like, yeah, here's standard banner update on March 14th alongside pity transfer. But we'll have to see, like there's nothing confirmed for that. But in my opinion, I would say keep like your expectations a bit lower for standard banner and expect only pity transfer for now. Is it a possibility we get standard banner update alongside it, being of course all these units are going to be on every future banner whenever this is implemented? I think it's like you could expect it, but you could also just make sure, keep your thoughts in check that like it might not actually happen, which it sucks, but at least we're going to get pity transfer earlier, right? That's kind of my personal thoughts. Now, what I mean by earlier is because we are missing a lot of releases as of right now. So we're probably going to get 2 more banners, but what we have, like, we're skipping a bunch of reruns, which is good. In terms of new units, we're missing Blue Nanami, Green Maki, and then we get to Red Mai, right? So we're 3 away, which means that we're getting it about like 1 or 2 releases early. So it's basically on time. It's just we're way quicker if we consider the fact that all the reruns are like either being skipped or done much quicker, right? So one thing we have to acknowledge with this is it is a lot quicker than it technically should have come. Like I would say like end of March was my personal guess, but March 14th is quite interesting, which means that we should, well, 2 things are going to happen. Either one, we're going to get a bi-weekly update, or 2, we're just going to get the banners, and that's going to be on March 7th and the 14th, it seems. Since this is on the 14th, my guess is that the 7th and the 14th are going to be 2 other banners, just the way they had it for the month of February, every 7 days being 7, 14, 21, and 28 had a banner, right? So now I know a lot of people want to know how exactly does pity transfer work, and that's quite a good question. So let's talk about it. Now, pity transfer is not the best thing ever. All right, I just want to make sure that's understood, but it could definitely save you if you get lucky. But right, basically pity transfer, I mean, it's just like any game, but it's very much prevalent for this game. You have to get lucky for pity transfer to even be usable for you, okay? And that is a bit of a problem. Now, for example, right now I have 62 points, and with 62 points, that means I've done 62 summons. Now, in total, every single banner I'm able to transfer up to, right, or I guess basically 100 gacha point charges from 200. So basically what this is saying is that every 20 summons that you do, you will be able to get 10 gacha point cards. Okay, just want to make sure that's clear. So here we go. Now you'll see I go from 200 to 231. My 60 points were transferred into 30, which means that the pity transfer is a 2-to-1, right? It's basically you transfer 50% of what points you had, right? So it's not a direct transfer, right? You could only transfer the points themselves, which definitely in some cases it just won't work because, for example, you'll need to pity some units, right? And that's why I think just having enough for pity is always important. But still, at the same time, right, it's always just gonna be there, right? That if you just get it early, like if you get it in 50 or 60, like I did with Shoko, well, guess what? You have 3 pity extra for a future multi, for a future banner, so that you're safe. Now, with the gacha point charges, if we go here, you'll see they're going to add a button. Now, this button, right here, is going to allow you to add up to 100. I'm not even going to press it because I'm too scared. But if you see, every one that you add is going to add an extra pity point. This is your pity points, right? So essentially, on every single banner, if you have the amount available, you will be able to transfer from previous banners, or like, let's say there's two banners at the same time, and they release at the same time, you could basically transfer between banners, but that doesn't usually happen in this game anyway, so, it doesn't really matter. But, for example, let's say you do 200 pulls, you're going to have 100 pulls for a future banner if you get it on the 200th pull, okay? That's basically how it works. It's a 2-for-1, and at max, you're able to transfer 100 points per banner. As you can see, there's a max of 100, which means you have to, no matter what, do 150 pulls. But still, like, that's a lot better in cases where we get free tickets, and especially for low spenders, because, for example, you do this, right? This costs 100, and then if you do 20 of these because the banner might be out for 20 days, well, guess what? You get a free 10 points for a future banner. So things like that, or if you do story event, and then you maybe get lucky, then you do another 10 just so you could transfer a pity for the future or something like that, right? There's a lot of different instances, but obviously it's not perfect, and most cases you won't necessarily be transferring 100 points. You might transfer 50, but it's basically a last resort is how it's going to work. It's not going to be perfect. I want to make sure that's understood, but is this going to help you a lot if you get even a bit lucky? Yes, over time, hell yeah, man. Even if it's like in some cases, for example, let's say Domain Gojo and Sukuna. Imagine this is Domain Gojo, this is Sukuna. Okay, Domain Gojo, you do, I don't know, you'll do like 80 pulls. You get the Domain Gojo in 80 pulls. Okay, you transfer over 4 multis. Cool. And then you do Sukuna. Well, shit. I have to go to pity. I'm unlucky. I'm on the 21st multi. I don't want to continue. Oh, wait. I did 4 multis on Domain Gojo's banner. Let me transfer it to Sukuna's banner, and now I'm at pity. So I just saved 12,000 cubes. And that's essentially the way that it's going to work. It's going to save you cubes here and there if you're able to. And that's basically how it's going to work, right? Or for example, you get Domain Gojo in 80, you get Sukuna in 100. Guess what? Now you have 90 points that you could transfer on another banner. I don't know. Mei comes out, right? Mei comes out and you do like 14 multis. Or I guess you would do like, I don't know, 16. You do 16 and you're like, okay, I don't want to continue. I didn't get Mei. Let me transfer those 90 points. And now I'm at 250 points. And with those 250 points, I'm able to transfer and get Mei, right? That's basically how it works. So recap, 20 points on a banner equals you could get 10 cards. In total, every banner, you could transfer up to 100 cards in it, which means in total, you only need to do 150 pulls if you have 100 cards at your disposal. So that's basically how it's going to work. All right. And overall, it's definitely pretty good. Now, it's very, very possible. Oh, yeah, never mind. So this is weird, except for Phantom Print Gacha and some other gachas. I don't get the some other gachas. It might be Step Up. It could be Step Up, very possible. That's probably what they mean by some other ones. Now, this is definitely good. We have to acknowledge this is good. And just to like reiterate my point, right, if we go back here, we could see there was a banner on the 21st and the 28th, but then there was also, where was it? Here. There was the banner on the 7th and then the 14th. So because of the fact that the pity transfers on the 14th, my guess is that's when we're going to get it. Now, what are we going to be getting in the next 2 weeks? Just to make sure it's understood, we basically know now, pretty much guaranteed, we're going to get Blue Nanami because that's the 3rd map event. Okay, so map event number 3, we should get Blue Nanami, and then afterwards they're going to skip Green Maki for now, is the guess, and they're going to go to Red Mai. Because Red Mai came out with the gacha point cards. Now, the other thing that's coming alongside this is you get to feature 3 units for a GSSR, it seems, and you have a higher chance just to get 3 of these units, so like Hollow Purple, stuff like that, if it does come with the standard banner update. I'm not sure if the pool for standard will be updated yet, but we could hope. One can hope. Let me know what you guys think. Seems like a lot of people are happy, but we'll have to see necessarily for this. But yeah, I'm going to go back to watching Magical Index. And I'm just, good way to end off the day, that's for sure. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.